2024, but you made it count and you got the victory. How does it feel to be at the start of the year and potentially having a lot more fights now being a part of the tournament?
I mean, it feels great. I want to be active. Bellator knew that. Now I'm with PFL. They're doing a tournament style, so it's going to keep me active. I get at least 3 fights this year.
I did want to touch on that. You'd been in Bellator for a while, but they never had a middleweight Grand Prix while you were there. What does it feel like to have the chance at a tournament at this stage of your career when you've had so much more experience now?
I mean, it doesn't really make a difference to me. At the end of the day, I'm going in there and fighting. And tournament style, regular format, I'm planning on coming out with the win.
So you've been active on social media. What's it like getting to share a card with your buddies like JJ and Josh this week?
I mean, it's great, but I'm here for business, you know. It's nice having them around. It's nice bullshitting with them, but I'm here to fight.
Final question, what are your thoughts on Sadibou's game and what he brings to the table?
I think he's a great fighter, lanky, good striker. However, there's definitely holes in his games that I can exploit, and I definitely think that my strengths will overcome his weaknesses, and I think that my takedown offense is better than his takedown defense. I think I'm going to go in there. I'm going to put on a wrestling clinic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ricky.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. The follow-up to the side question here, I think that you have kind of the competitive advantage going into this fight. Was there anything that stood off on tape that you saw that you exposed in that fight?
If you're asking me for game plan, I'm not going to give you that. But, I mean, if anybody with any logic that knows anything about fighting can watch the way that he fights and watch the way that I fight and just know that my style of fighting is a bad matchup for him.
Yeah, follow up to that. Obviously, as you prepare for the tournament, obviously you're competing in mind of, hey, I'm going to fight multiple fights. How does that change maybe how you approach your camp versus maybe just one fight in your mind?
It doesn't change it. I'm focused on Sadibou Sy right now. He's a dangerous opponent. He's a very good fighter. I got to focus on this guy. I'm not focused on any of these other guys in the tournament. But that being said, Friday night, I'm not just going out there to send a message to Sadibou Sy. I'm going out there to send a message to everybody in the division.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jonathan Ramakan, Fight Bananas. Dalton, your last fight was almost a year ago. What are some of the weapons you added over the year or sharpened up over that time?
Man, I'm in the gym every day working twice a day, sometimes 3. And I'm working on everything. I'm working my jiu-jitsu, my wrestling, my striking, kickboxing. I mean, end of the day, I've progressed everywhere, and I've made huge strides. And I just can't wait to show it on Friday.
Awesome. First fight, you're going to be able to use 12 to 6 elbows. With your style in this fight, is that something that excites you?
It doesn't change anything for me, honestly. I mean, I'll use them, but I'm going to go in there and fight the same way I always do. I'm an improved version of what I've been before, but I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try to get the finish. I'm going to start strong, and I'm going to stay in his face all night, be aggressive. Go for the takedowns, go for the big shots, go for the knockout, go for the submission. Whatever comes, I'll take.
Awesome. And last one for me, the Hercules nickname, is that just because of the physique, or where does that come from?
I get this question every time, man. Long story short, whenever I was boxing in Youngstown, Ohio, one of the guys at gym, older guy named Larry, he was one of Muhammad Ali's old sparring partners, and he never actually knew my name. Nobody in there really knew each other's name. And he'd always watch me hit pads, and he was always hyping me up. He'd watch it hit the bag, watch me spar. And one day after I got done sparring, when I was hitting pads, everybody was around the ring watching. And he was like, "That's Herc. We're going to call him Herc." So from that day forward, nobody even really knew my name. They just called me Herc. That's where it came from. The physique, matches. I also like Greek mythology, so everything kind of ties in and it just fits. It's not one of those nicknames where I gave it to myself. Someone actually gave it to me, so I think it's a little bit more meaningful.
Love that, man. Appreciate your time and good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hal Dawson with Fight Bananas. So you were speaking of people you've trained with in the past. You've been seen alongside NFL legend James Harrison several times training.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak to that and just how that's helped you develop this physique and your strength that you carry into these fights?
To be honest with you, I think my physique's a lot genetics. I get accused of steroids left and right, but I'm sure I'm going to be getting drug tested a lot now under USADA. So, at the end of the day, all the strength training that I did growing up and some of the stuff that I did with James Harrison stuff definitely helps. But all the training I do day in and day out, the wrestling, the grappling, the striking, the sparring, all that kind of maintains what I had leading up until this point, and actually builds a little bit more muscle, believe it or not. And I get to stay in shape, I get to stay lean. I'm always like locked in and dialed in on my diet, my sleep, everything from all corners. So this is a culmination of everything that I do day in and day out, and I do everything right. And I think my physique shows that.
In that room that you're training in every day is also Josh Silvera, a teammate of yours, as well as Johnny Eblin. How do you approach the possibility of facing Josh in the tournament and then Johnny Eblin after the championship series?
I mean, as I said before, this fight coming up, I'm fighting Sadibou Sy, so that's all I'm focused on. When I'm in the gym, I'm not worried about fighting those guys right now. If we do end up fighting, I'll cross that bridge whenever we get to it. Right now, I'm going to take advantage of the good training, the skill that they provide, the training opportunities that they provide, and we get hard rounds in. So I'm going to keep training with them. And if we end up having to fight, obviously we can't train together, but we'll cross that bridge whenever we get to it.
One more for me. In your last fight, you were the betting underdog against Norbert.
Mm-hmm.
You are once again the betting underdog going in against Sadibou Sy. Do you feel disrespected by the odds makers, and what message do you want to send to them?
No, I don't feel disrespected. Sadibou Sy's a very good fighter, but I think the odds makers definitely have it wrong. They had it wrong last time. They have it wrong this time. And to be honest with you, a lot of people that cover MMA really don't know a damn thing about MMA. So we're going to find out on Friday night.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Dylan here with Combat Casuals. So much of your pro career was fought under that Bellator banner. How does it feel to be making the transition into the PFL and looking at already fighting for a world title here in just a couple of months?
I can't wait, man. This time, August 21st, whatever that finals card is for the middleweights, I'm going to be world champion. And it's exciting. It's only a few months away, and I can't wait.
Awesome. Now, with the nature of this tournament requiring you to make such quick turnarounds, is part of your preparation game planning ways to preserve yourself for those later fights, or are you taking it one fight at a time?
No. All gas, no brakes right now.
Awesome. And last one for me. Looking ahead a little bit into the semifinals, do you hope to have the opportunity to avenge that lone loss on your record against Aaron Jeffries, or does it not matter who's standing across from you?
Honestly, like I said, I'm not focused on anybody else right now. I'm focused on Sadibou Sy. So we can talk about that after.
Thank you so much.